Hello. Right, let's go on a little journey, you and I. Basically, I'm making this video because the new Fantastic Four film, Fantastic Four First Steps, is coming out, was it tomorrow in Ireland? Yeah. I think it's out in America right now, so yeah, like, please, if you come across this video, don't spoil it for me, please. I mean, sure, look, who am I kidding? No one's gonna watch this. So yeah, to celebrate the new movie coming out, a few months ago, I watched FANT4STIC, or Fantastic Four 2015. That's the official title. Well, the official title is just Fantastic Four. There's no year on it, but it's shite how they just called it the same name. But whatever. It is what it is. I don't like the film. I don't like it one bit. It has to go down as one of the worst superhero movies of all time. Like, I swear to God, like, there's not a superhero film in particular, where I've never been so bored in my entire life. Like, seriously, I was checking my watch the entire time while I was watching it on my laptop. It really is just so boring, and I'm just gonna get it out of the way here. I'll name the stuff that I actually do like. So first of all, the first thing I like is the meme line of when Reed says to Ben that when Ben says it's fantastic, and Reed turns around and he's just like, say it again.
It's fantastic.
Like, that was the film's like only saving grace. Like, I swear to God. Well, no, there's one more thing. It's the bit where they first initially get their powers, and you see, like, particularly with like Reed's like stretchy powers and Ben's like rocks like grafted onto him, like, it's it shows like they're hurting, they're shocked, they're frightened. Same with Johnny as well, when he got turned into fire, and it looked cool. Like, I can guess like the horror angle that Josh Trank was trying to do, and that was it. Josh Trank, what a very funny guy, because I swear to God, he should never have been hired to make a Fantastic Four film. Like, and now I'll say this, I've never actually seen any of his other films. Like, I've not seen Chronicle, but I heard like great things about it. He really wasn't the right fit, and I know that they're trying to do something different, and obviously it was like post Dark Knight, and in fact, I actually think when it came to movies around that time, they choose to either be either a Dark Knight ripoff in terms of tone, or an Avengers ripoff with tone as well, and jokes and whatever. And they chose the Dark Knight route, and it just doesn't really work with the Fantastic Four. Like, it would have been interesting, like, to have this like alternate reality version of like the Fantastic Four, where they're kind of miserable, and nothing seems to be going right for them. They didn't ask for their powers and all that. But the problem is that there are kind of like clashing tones. Like, it was still a miserable experience, albeit not intentionally so by the filmmakers. you know, that there were quippy jokes, and yeah, like, I honestly don't know why. Like, they couldn't just commit to one thing, like one style, and yeah, that's why, you know, the film is bashed, because even when it tries to be serious, it kind of just comes across as either really boring or hilarious, unintentionally so, or when they try and be somewhat jokey, it just feels awkward and stunted, and I don't even know if that's the right terminology to use, that last word, stunted, but yeah, I was just disappointed, you know, to be honest. If you're wondering, I'm not putting on sun cream. This is like anti-FANT4STIC cream, you know, and I really should have worn it when I first watched the film, but as it turns out, I contracted something called FANT4STICitis, you know, which means, like, after watching it and not being protected, it means that, like, I have to talk about this film on YouTube. So yeah, like, it's a shame, but sure, look, it's better than death, I suppose. Yeah, like, you know what the funny thing was? Is that they, like, Josh Trank wanted to call Victor Von Doom, like, something like Victor, like Von Ditchiev or something like that, some, like, Eastern European name, and it was changed in the last minute because of potential fan backlash. But I think it probably would have suited the film more. But you know what? They probably should have just gone all out, you know? Like, Grimm isn't a last name, you know? Like, they should have called him Ben Graham, and then called Sue and Johnny. Like, Storm's not really a last name, is it? Not a very common one. So, like, how about Sue and Johnny Stevens? Yeah, that's a very cool name. Yeah, Richards can stay the way he is. I mean, and what can I say, like, there's barely any action scenes in it, and look, I don't really mind that much, you know, if there isn't too much action. You know, you could argue that you know, this is a character drama, like, type of film, you know, where, like, all that matters is, like, character development and chemistry between the characters. But I don't know, man. Like, I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking, what chemistry, what characters? It was more along the lines of planks of wood standing together. Yeah, that's what it felt like for throughout most of it. Like, it just felt so dull, uninspired, you know. So, like, yeah, if you're not gonna have action, then at least have good, like, yeah, characters in it. And unfortunately, they weren't. And it's not through the fault of the actors. You know, Miles Teller is very talented. Obviously, in the film Whiplash, you know, very, very well liked. And at least, you know, Miles Teller didn't have to put up with J.K. Simmons this time.
Do you think you're out of tune?
Yes.
Then why the fuck didn't you say so?
Instead, he had to put up with Michael B. Jordan. Now, I like Michael B. Jordan. You know, I absolutely love him as an actor. You know, he was very good in Sinners, as you would expect. Obviously, he was good as Killmonger in the Black Panther films. You know, like, just so damn cool. Like, but as Johnny, he wasn't too bad. He was probably the best character in the film. But unfortunately for him, it was just like a wasted effort. Like, he wasted his time making or putting that much effort into what would be one of the worst superhero films of all time. Actually, just one more thing I want to talk about before I finish talking about this film. It's the final action scene where there's like any proper action. They go to that like other world, you know, where they got their powers, and they left like Victor behind. He just decides, you know what, like fuck it, I've been here long enough, only been there a year, and I just want to bring Earth over to that world. Could potentially destroy it, but sure, who cares, because, you know, I'm edgy, and I played that monkey from the Planet of the Apes film, you know, the one where he dies after he falls off a building. Yeah, that monkey. Was it the one with the scar on his head? Yeah, they fight Victor Von Doom. It's very boring, just like the film itself, so at least it's consistent in that way. One thing I really hate about the fight scene, again, aside from the fact that it's just so boring, is the fact that, you know, it's hard to describe because it's just, I can't really remember much of it, and how, I know it somewhat ends with, like, you know, they all fight Victor individually, and that doesn't work. And then they're like, oh wait, we better team up. And it's like, okay. And then they just beat Victor like that. You know, like first try, a first attempt of teaming up, it all works. So, and then like Ben delivers the finishing blow, and he says, you know, it's clobbering time.
It's clobbering time!
You know, and I love that line. You know, it's cool. Not like in the film. I mean, like in general, like the character of Ben Grimm. I love when he says like it's clobbering time. That's like his catchphrase. But then you remember that he got that line from his abusive older brother, who before beating him up would say it's clobbering time.
Hey, clobbering time. Come here. What do you think? You think you can talk to me like that? Huh? You think you can talk to me like that?
Oh, yeah, that's very weird. You know, like, that's... No, I have to give the film, like, a really bad mark for that. I mean, I was going to give it a bad mark anyway, you know, in Spite of it, but sure, whatever. Yeah, and, you know, Victor gets sucked up the blue sky beam, which was very popular, you know, for films at that time. They just love shooting that blue beam in the sky. Yeah, Victor gets sucked up into it and gets disintegrated, and the Fantastic Four save the world. Yippee! And they don't even call themselves the Fantastic Four until we see the title of the film pop up at the end, because they're just too embarrassed to say it.
Guys, I got it. Ready? Yeah.
In fact, that's what it literally ends the same way as Avengers Age of Ultron, which came out the same year as FANT4STIC, where Steve Rogers was like, Avengers, and before he says assemble, it cuts to the title.
Avengers!
It wasn't... 2015 wasn't really a good year for superhero films, and it says a lot when Ant-Man was the best film. And I like Ant-Man, the film, and the character, but yeah, like that, it should never be the best film of that year. I'm sorry, but yeah. Would I recommend seeing FANT4STIC? Well, what do you think? Like, I literally said I hate the film. I would not recommend it unless you hate yourself. It is a very good cure for insomnia, like, you know, scientists have said. I'm not going to give you a source on it, but, you know, you're just going to have to trust me on that. And actually, I'll just say this, like, I'm wearing, I don't know if you could see, but, like, I'm wearing a Shrek t-shirt, and, yeah, it kind of reminded me that Shrek 2, you know, it had, like, you know, Shrek, Donkey, Puss in Boots, and Fiona. You know, they're like the 4 main characters. And what I noticed is that they're probably a better Fantastic Four than any of the FANT4STIC. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, I am so looking forward to this new Fantastic Four film. I've heard some good things about it. Like, I've not seen the film, I've not looked into spoilers, but yeah, either way, like, I'm just so excited to see this film, and hopefully the action in it will be amazing. And from what I saw in the trailers, it looks great. The character dynamics looks really good. I was a bit apprehensive about Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. He just basically gave Reed a mustache. It looked strange, but you know what? He could work. He could literally be the best Mr. Fantastic we have, which I know is not really saying much. John Krasinski barely utilised his powers, and he looked so bored. I already talked about Miles Teller. Owen Rungruffed. Sorry, I don't speak Welsh names. I'm not very good at them. I liked him, but I actually do like him. No buts. He just needed a better script, maybe. And I can't remember. I've not seen the 1994 unreleased film. I know it's on YouTube, but just can't be arsed watching it. But yeah, I doubt that guy's version of Mr. Fantastic was that good, considering the rest of the film looks cheap. But at the same time, it was the 90s, and Marvel films looked shit back then, so, you know, you could excuse it. Alright, that's the end of the video. Please don't watch the film, don't suffer like I have, and yeah, I'll probably see y'all later.